again, everybody. Today, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. No race footage or anything like that, but I'm actually going to be doing a lower leg service on my Fox 34 Performance. I'm also going to swap the travel on it. So right now it's set up as a 130 millimeter, and I'm going to be swapping it to a 140. It'll be kind of a two-in-one video, how to service the lowers. This will also combine it with swapping out the air shaft. And I know there's a bunch of videos out there on this topic, but I watched quite a few of them and kind of would pick up a little thing here and there from each one of them. If your brain happens to work like mine, bless your heart, hopefully this video will kind of combine all of that, make it easy to understand, get everything you need out of this one video. Like and subscribe. All right, let's jump in. Get started, let's go over what you're going to need for this. You're going to need a shock pump, you'll need the air shaft for the new amount of travel that you're going to be doing, set of Allen keys, a couple syringes for the oil, a pick, screwdriver, socket wrench, 15 millimeter and 10 millimeter sockets, hammer, mallet thing with rubber, soft tips. A couple things that are not required but kind of make your life a little easier with this are these Fox leg removal tools. I'll show you how you can still get by without them, but they're just kind of handy. And then also this, which is a socket that is flat because the top of the air shaft and the damper caps are really low profile, so this flat helps to make better contact with it and keep from stripping it like a normal kind of rounded socket head. So if you can see kind of how that one is a little more rounded off. But anyway, again, not required. You just have to be a little bit more careful if you're using a regular socket wrench, but it's a 26 millimeter too. So those may not come in a standard home socket kit. Then we need Fox 20 weight gold oil, 5 weight if you're using one with a grip damper, or the Grip 2. This is SRAM butter, but you can also use Slick Oleum or Slick Honey. Some kind of a bucket to catch oil. When you knock these lowers off, oil is gonna drain into the bucket. First thing you wanna do with suspension is to get everything very clean, because you don't want any dirt to get down in the system here. So I'm just gonna use, this is just some alcohol. All right, once you've got this to a decent level of clean, our next step is going to be to go ahead and remove the lowers here. So first step, you're going to remove the air pressure. I like to use something kind of like an Allen key that's a little bit flatter, so you don't scratch or damage anything like a screwdriver would do. Once you've got the air out, we're going to remove this rebound knob adjuster here, 2 millimeter Allen key, and there's a little hole right there. I'm gonna unscrew that little set screw, and this will just pop off. Only takes about a half a turn to get it to loosen up. Just kidding. Maybe one full turn. Set that aside. Then on your damper side, you're gonna need your 15 millimeter socket. It'll take a whole lot of pressure to loosen up. Right there. Set that aside. And we have a little crush washer that comes off of there too, or it may be stuck, but either way, that needs to come out as well. And we're going to swap to the 10 millimeter for the air spring side. Same deal, doesn't take a whole lot to break it loose. Then that little guy comes out. Once you got those nuts removed, that's where these little dudes come into play. So the thinner one is going to go on the air spring side. The thicker one is going to go on the damper side. Now again, I mentioned you don't absolutely have to have these. What you can do Basically what this is for is you put these on here and then hit it with the mallet, and that's gonna break the stiction of the damper inside here, knock it up in there a little bit, and then that allows you to pull the lower legs off. So if you don't have these, because obviously this is a specialty tool, what you can do is basically use your socket, put the nut back on just a few screws, few turns, and then put the socket on the nut and then hit the socket, and that'll protect your nut. That'll protect the nut from getting hit. Anyway, there's just thread on bottom there. You want to leave a little bit of a gap between the bottom of the fork and where this screws up to. Because again, what we're doing is hitting this to knock that back up into the fork. It's also where you want your bucket underneath, because when you knock these up, that's going to break the seal, and then the oil is going to drip out. This guy on here, again, leaving a little bit of a gap, and you're going to take your mallet and absolutely demolish your $1,000 fork. Hopefully not. That clank noise, that's what you want. Extra destruction. Ooh, that was easy. No oil yet. Might need another whack. There we go. Got a little bit coming out of here. And we're gonna take these off. Then we're gonna slide these lowers off. There comes some oil. Now the damper side still wanting to hang a little bit, so I'm gonna give it a little tap, tap, taparoo. Alright, now we got some oil coming out. So if at first you don't succeed, keep hitting it. Also, this is a little messy, so you may want to wear some gloves for this job. I just hate wearing gloves, so I don't really deal with it. Hey, Blue. Alright, once the oil's drained, we're just gonna slowly slide these off. Then for the service part, got these seals right here. They're gonna need to come off. There's also a white foam, but those are gonna need to come out for replacing. And we're gonna clean the inside. You can spray alcohol down in here and just give it a good wipe through to make sure it's nice and clean. Once the O-rings are out and you've got these seals, the wiper seals, that's what's gonna need to come out next. So flathead screwdriver, basically get up under it and let her rip. So yes, you will feel like you're about to destroy the thing trying to get those out. Now, like I said before, you want to clean out the inside of the lowers here really well. If you've got like a wooden dowel or basically anything that's not metal that's going to scratch the inside, you'll be good to go there. Spray some more alcohol down in there. So I ended up using a old rod from, well, we'll call it an old set of blinds. So what I'm gonna do is take the rag here, just a little bit of tape on the inside right there, and spin it. And then you can take it clean. Yes, I have a cat door in my window. Set those aside for now. Now, since I am going to be switching the travel on this, for this next step you can skip this because I'm going to be removing the air spring and then putting the new one in. So if all you're doing is doing the lower leg service, you don't have to remove the air spring unless you just want to take it out and re-grease it or something. To remove the air spring, a retaining clip just around the outside here. Be able to see, yeah, right in there. Part of it sticks out just a little bit, so you can kind of get the screwdriver up under there and pry that out. I am using a pick for this, but just means you have to be extra careful. See if I can do this with the camera. Get under there, and then it should pop right on out like that. Oop. One more time. With feeling. Pop it out. Alright. Just like that. Slide that off. And once the clip is out, this should slide out just like that. Got a little goopiness going on there. I'm just gonna clean this off a little bit. Alright, cleaned off. I'm gonna set this aside for now. Alright, then I'm also gonna clean up in the upper stanchion here as well. I'm gonna use this little guy, remove the top cap on the air shaft side, and that'll allow you to push the dowel all the way through to get it really nice and clean. Also, if you need to change your tokens for your progressiveness of your fork, now's the time to do that, because just pop those on and off. Now we're going to take new spring with the SRAM butter / slick oleum / slick honey, whatever you have on it. Once that's greased up, back in the hole. Retaining pin or clip, retaining clip goes back in. Should snap right in place. Now back to the servicing the lowers portion. And take some of the 20 weight, pour just a little bit in this bag that all the new seals and everything came in. And basically what this is for, we're going to take the new foam O-rings here, put them in there, let them soak up some of the oil. So for comparison, this guy, and that's actually pretty dry to the touch versus a new one. And then they're going to just pop right in here. And we've got our new dust wipers. Apparently there's a special tool for setting these, but I don't have that one. Apparently you can use a piece of PVC pipe that's the same diameter. What I do is kind of get the side that's closest to this part, put that kind of down in there, since it's the hardest to hit the hammer. And you can hold that part like so and hit this outside part so that it kind of, there, see, it kind of gets it started a little better. And then just kind of work your way around. So they're nice and flush around there. Then it's time to put the lowers back on the uppers. One final thing you want to do before you actually go to slide these on, take your Slick Oleum butter honey of choice. Just do a little bit around the inside of the dust wipers there. Probably just a little dab on one finger and then spread it all the way across will be good. Wipe off any of the extra. Make sure you got the right one on the right side. And ease them back together. There's your rods here. Came out the bottom. You're good to go there. You don't want them fully out yet because we still got to put the bath oil in the legs. All right, so once you're at that point, like I said, you might want to pull the leg back down just a little bit so that there's a little bit of a gap because you need to get a syringe in there to inject the fluid. So I'm gonna actually rotate this up a little bit. So this has the Fit 4 damper in it, which has 20 weight gold on both sides. If yours is a grip damper or grip 2, it's actually 20 weight gold fluid on the air shaft side, and it'll be that 5 weight fluid on the damper side. So keep that in mind. And I'll put a link in the description to the Fox website that has the amounts for each year, because each year model, each fork model, so forth, has a different amount. 10 cc's of 20 weight on the air shaft side. Once you got the oil in, then you can go ahead and pull the lowers fully back, or I'm sorry, push it back. All right, your crush washers on the air spring side, they may not have come out, so you might have to pry them out of the cap, but they sit down in that little recessed area right there. And we'll tighten those up. They don't have to be super tight, 5 to 6 Newton meters or something like that. One quick thing before you put the top cap back on the air spring side, there is a little bit of fluid or oil that needs to go in the top part. Again, this is fork specific, so check the website for the amounts for your fork. In my case, this one just needs 3 cc's of the 20 weight gold fluid, so just gonna plug that in there. All right, and you can put your top cap back on. And we're gonna get the rebound knob back on. There should be a notch on the little rod that pokes out there. So you want the set screw lined up with that notch. And you can adjust your rebound back where you had it. And might have a little bit of oil residue hanging out down there. Just try to get as much of that as possible. Just to keep it from attracting a bunch of dirt and dust down in there. Then we should be able to add air. Shock pump. Place the air cap. Let's cycle it. Make sure it works. It forks. All right, so there's a little rundown on how to change your forks travel, changing the air spring, as well as doing a lower leg service on a Fox fork. Because this was a Performance Elite 34. If it's a newer model, it's going to be pretty much the same thing. And like I said, you can check the website for the oil amounts that's needed. I'll have the link for that in the description. Any other type of questions, let me know. I'll try to answer them. Till next time, thanks for watching.